The product that I've got in my hand here, Ghost from Armour Detail Supply, is something that we have been super excited to get our hands on. Ever since we saw the announcement post and the announcement video from Armour Detail Supply, we have been pestering them around when can we get access to this product in the country, and it finally arrived last week. So we're really excited to try this out today. So we've already used and tested, you can see a video on our channel, of the Armour Detail Supply Tire Plus, which is their standard tire dressing. Where this differs is this is more of a tire sealant, so it's still water activated, but you should get better longevity out of this product here. Where Tire Plus is advertised as multiple weeks, you're looking at multiple months with this. So we're going to team this up with the tire cleaner from Armour Detail Supply today. We're going to apply it to the WRX behind us here and talk you through the application process, walk you through what it's like, and then hopefully come back to you later down the track with some longevity tests. So the reason why we're excited about this product is we're looking for something that just has that better longevity. We want to be able to utilize it on clients' cars, our own cars as well, to reduce the maintenance needed to keep your tires looking really nice. We're not after a gloss look. This can achieve it, but you can also achieve a nice satin look as well. So let's get into the preparation stage and clean up the tires on this car. We'll just show you a starting point. As you can see, the wheels on the WRX are pretty dirty, the tires as well. We have been maintaining these tires using a mix of the Obsessed Garage tire dressing and then the Tire Plus dressing from Armour Detail as well. Haven't applied anything for probably about a month to this car. It hasn't traveled an awful lot of distance in that time. The traveling it has done though has got it pretty dirty. So looking forward to getting these tidied up. Now we're going to go through our normal wheel cleaning and tire cleaning process here. The only difference is that to team up with Ghost, we're going to use the Armour Detail Supply tire cleaner. Give this a go. Really, really important that you prep your tires well for any type of tire dressing, but in particular the Ghost sealant. So what you want to do is make sure you've got a really bare surface. If you've got any existing sealants on there or any dressings, you remove them completely, and that could involve needing to go over the tire a couple of times with something like the Armour Detail Supply tire cleaner, or a staple to our current setup, which has been CarPro Retire. So this is the most important part of this process here. As you can see, we already have a little bit of browning off of the tire here. So you want to clean these tires to a point where the majority of that browning disappears. It may take a couple of cleans in order to get to that point. So basically it's spraying on the tire cleaner, letting it dwell for a little bit of time, and then introducing something like what we've got here, Detail Factory tire brush, and just scrubbing away at it. And I know for these tires here, because we have an existing dressing on them, although it's a little bit older, we're going to need to clean this tire with the tire cleaner or something like your CarPro Retire a couple of times in order to get really good bonding from Ghost. So we'll rinse that off and then we'll go again. And we should see noticeably less tire browning second time around here. Now we've got no other chemicals there as well, so we'll give that a bit of dwell time on the surface. And we'll give it a final scrub down. Far less browning there, we've pretty much just got foam on the tyre. Like if I wipe that on my hands, it's not very brown at all. Which goes to show we have a pretty clean and bare tyre here to apply the dressing to. Now if you skip on this preparation step, do not expect the longevity that Armour Detail Supply claim on Ghost. Also, don't expect a uniform finish as well. You might find it slightly splotchy or uneven if you don't get a nice even clean and get the tyre prepared as well as you need to. Now, something to be mindful of here, if you go through that tyre cleaning process and you've still got hydrophobics on the tyre as a result of a previous tyre dressing you've applied, probably what you want to do is use that tyre cleaner 2, maybe 3 times. And then what you can do, if you've still got that hydrophobic behaviour because the tyre dressing is still remaining, then what you might need to do is use something like a tar or adhesive remover. So maybe introduce something like a CarPro Tarex, and hopefully that will strip away everything. Now what we have to do is wait. We need the tyre to be as dry as possible, completely dry in an ideal circumstance here, before we go and apply Ghost. Now what we found with other tyre dressings is we can apply when the tyre is still damp, doesn't have to be completely dry, but for the best results with Armour Detail Supply Ghost, you are going to want to ensure that your tyre is completely dry. If you don't, you're going to end up with a splotchy result. So it's not going to be a uniform finish. Highly recommended that you wait for your tyre to dry completely. We have tried this on another car, so not the first time we've tried this today. We have kind of played around with it across the course of a week, and I have tried it on a car where the tyre wasn't completely dry. And the result is when it did dry out, when the Ghost sealant dried on top of there, we had some high spots. And given this is a pretty sturdy sealant, they're not easy to remove. You'd have to go through the process again of removing the dressing, so the tyre cleaner, definitely the Tarex to do that. So make sure the tyre is completely dry. Now that we've got our tyres prepared, we're ready to apply the sealant to the tyres. Now typically with a tyre dressing, we would use a brush. On the car that I did give this a test run with, I used a brush and I found that I was getting slightly uneven results. So what I've decided to do is switch to a foam applicator, which is what Armour Detail Supply recommend that you use with Ghost. Now, Ghost is a water-based product, so not quite as gluggy as some of the other competitors out there. I know one that we've tried is CarPro Dark Side. We really enjoy that product for the longevity, but it is very gluggy to apply. It's not a particularly easy product to work with, so the water-based delivery of Ghost should make this a little bit easier. So all you need to do in order to apply this product is spray some onto your applicator, and then the key here is going to be that you don't want to go extremely thick with the application. If you want to build up additional gloss, you can add additional layers. So you want to lay your first layer down relatively thin, so you've got really good workability with it to ensure that you get even coverage across the wheel without any high spots. So then what we're going to be doing here is just evenly applying this to the tyre, making sure that we get into any of these crevices between the sidewall and the actual wheel face itself. And I've gone pretty thick there, so I'm going to want to try and sop up some of this and move it around the tyre. And look, what you will see here is that it does look quite thick, and it also has a blue tinge to the appearance. So that blue tinge that you see, that is going to dry clear, but it gives you a pretty good visual indicator of where you have applied this product to. Now I'm going to add a little bit more to my applicator here. Not a huge amount, because we do want to get nice even coverage. And this is where it's really important that your tyre is dry, because we are getting a couple of drips coming off here, which when it hits the actual sealant itself is going to result in some splotchiness. So make sure that you get it dry so you can get that even coverage. And I just encourage you to make sure that this is spread nice and evenly. You don't have any really high spots where it's really blue. And the other thing I do as well is make sure that you're applying this outside. You wouldn't want to get this all over your garage floor, whether it's carpet you've got in there or tiles or whatever it may be. It can be very slippery. So looking at that, I feel like we've got a pretty good even coverage. We are pretty thick in some places, so that's when you can flip your pad over and we can remove some of the excess using the dry side of the applicator. Now that will take about 10 minutes to dry on the tyre, and what we'll see when it's dry is obviously that blue tinge that we've got in there at the moment will dry clear. So it's not a product that you can apply and immediately drive. You are going to need to let this dry. Could be 10-15 minutes just to allow it to work its way into the rubber itself. You wouldn't want to come along and remove it at this stage. You're not going to get that complete longevity Armour Detail Supply advertised for this product. And this is what a tyre looks like that's been drying for about 5 minutes. So we're not completely dry here yet, but you can see compared to that first tyre, the blue tinge is starting to dry away on here. We do have a couple of spots, but around this side here, we are drying quite nicely, and it's coming toward that nice satin finish, which is the result we're going for on these tyres. Now, if you're going for a finish which is a bit glossier, you can achieve that by doing multiple layers of Ghost. So ADS have advertised that you can do up to 3 layers on this. I mean, you can do as many as you want, but 2 to 3 layers would increase the gloss on your tyre. What we are going for here is a satin finish. So not quite matte, but that nice satin black finish. So the tyre looks nice and rich with that deep black colour to it. So in order to achieve that, we only need to do 1 coat of this. And I think probably the key with Ghost is less is more. Apply very little in your first go, and then if you're not happy with the results, go and add a little bit more. This product has the ability to layer up. You can't take it away though once it's applied, and if you do want to remove it, you're going to have to go through that initial steps again, tyre cleaner, probably tar remover if you want to remove this, especially if it's within the first couple of weeks after your initial application. Now I did talk earlier around high spots, and this is a Tesla Model Y. I applied Ghost onto this and I wanted to just do a really thick layer and see how it dried. This was done about 7 days ago, and the car has traveled about 700 kilometers since. And what you can see in this particular area, I did leave it quite high. We didn't level anything off, and you can see we do have a little bit of splotchiness to it. You can definitely see some high spots in there. This was really just a test to see how forgiving this product is. And I mean, I wouldn't be happy with those results there. But I wanted to test this out to see how finicky you needed to be with the application, and the answer is you need to be pretty careful. You need to apply a light layer, and you need to make sure it is evenly applied. There are some of you that may go, hey look, that tyre looks all right, and yet from a distance it might do, but you can achieve way better results by being quite sparing with the product and making sure that you have applied it and leveled it around the tyre, not leaving any high spots. For another really quick comparison, we had applied ADS Tyre Plus, so more of the maintenance product that would last a couple of weeks on this tyre here at the same time, and the results are a little bit more uniform on there because we did apply that according to the instructions, applied a light layer and then leveled it off. So we'd be about 5 minutes into the process here, waiting for this to dry, and you can see we've still got some blue spots. That would probably indicate that we are a little bit high in some of those areas there. It does take a little longer to dry in some of the crevices, versus if it's straight rubber that is smooth. So some of these areas here, very, very quick to dry. But when you do get into some of these bits here where there's quite a lot of intricacies and quite a lot of divots and different layers to the rubber, it will take a little longer to dry in those areas. And a quick little Omni Garage tip, when you are applying tyre dressings, hop in your car, roll it back. Doesn't have to be rolled back far. But that means that that section right at the bottom of the tyre that you wouldn't have been able to get all the way around, you can now come and make sure you get a nice uniform application the whole way around the tyre. And we've been about 10 minutes now, and as you can see there, the product has dried. We've got a nice uniform finish. We've got no splotchiness there, no high spots at all, and we've ended up with a really nice satin finish. If I bring you around kind of where we've rubbed some on the top of the tyre there, you can see kind of the bare rubber and then what it looks like with the sealant applied on there. So the key now will be longevity. How long are we going to stay looking like that on the tyre before it starts to wear off? And how long will the hydrophobics remain in this tyre now? Because the key is with that sealant applied, we're going to get good hydrophobics and good chemical resistance as well. So it's really going to be something that we need to test over the next couple of months and just see how long the sealant will stay performing well for. So there you have it. That is what the preparation and application process, and then obviously the final result as well, looks like with Armour Detail Supply Ghost. Now, we are going to need to test the longevity out of this product as well. So the plan here will be that we will probably revisit this in about 2 months. Now, Armour Detail Supply claim that this sealant is good for up to 3 months on your tyres before you'd need to reapply. We'll test it close to that. I think about that 2 month mark is a good sweet spot. I would be pretty impressed if I only needed to apply tyre dressing once every 2 months. So stay tuned to the channel. We'll likely provide that update via a short, but there is a chance that we might revisit and show you guys as well how you would completely remove a dressing like this using ADS tyre, using Tarex. I'm really excited to see how long this will last and if this is a viable competitor to some of the other products on the market, in particular CarPro Darkside, which we don't like working with, but yields us some really great results. I think this teamed up with Tyre Plus could be a great 1-2 combo, depending on how often we're seeing a car, how long we want it to last, and what results we're after. And by all means, if you want something glossier than that, you can go now and do a second application. I'm not going to do that because I am after this nice satin finish. That's it from Omni Garage today. Make sure you hit subscribe to stay tuned for all of that content I just talked about. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.